First IED I hit, and there were a few of them. We were doing just a standard patrol right outside, a few hours outside of Kandahar city in Afghanistan, middle of fucking nowhere. We've passed this guy's house that we actually trusted quite a bit. He gave us a lot of intel and things of that sort. We came down a small creek. It's a dry creek bed, and those are prime spots for this sort of thing, because the trucks are so big. The enemy knows it. We call them choke points, so they can basically gather that we have to drive vehicles through there. So it's a good place to place these explosives. Kind of coming down this little hill a little bit, heading towards the creek. It's just a normal day. We're bullshitting. We're talking in the radios, and the guys in the truck talking about girls and what foods we missed and stuff like that. And there were plenty of those. A normal day, and then we just kind of came over this hump, and as soon as the front left wheel hit, boom. Hit me like a ton of bricks. Hit me like, I didn't have a seatbelt on. The four-point restraint, I wasn't wearing it, and threw me to the top of the truck. About turned my Kevlar helmet, all the way around on my head, really. And everyone in the truck was fairly okay. No serious injuries, but it was a very large IED. 2 anti-tank mines and a couple 155 rounds. And I just remember being really hazy. This huge just flash of orange purple light, and dust everywhere. Fucking dust everywhere. Couldn't see even if there was no dust. You can't see anything. Just so dizzy and hazy. I couldn't hear anything, and I licked my lips, and I tasted blood, and there was just blood all over my fucking face. I busted pretty much a bunch of stuff in my nose, and it was just pouring blood out of my face. And then I had bit the tip of my tongue off, and it went down through the bottom lip, like through my chin. And my face was just covered in blood, and it wouldn't stop bleeding, and I couldn't see, and I couldn't hear. I'll just never forget that initial shockwave, because you're sitting in your seat, and you feel that just rush of just mass, solid energy coming through. You can feel it chill right up the back of your legs, through your behind, and right up your spine, all forcing right up out of your head. And I remember that so profoundly, and so like slow motion like. Then I see my truck commander. He gets out of the truck. Everyone's asking, "Oh, everybody good? Everybody good? Everybody good?" I hear somebody screaming, and it's my gunner, who apparently had slammed his face into the machine gun and messed his face up pretty good. And so I start to open the door, and I was dizzy as fuck, still pouring blood. My face was just was nasty. And someone kind of helped me away. We kind of half-assed assaulted this tiny little village, which turned up into nothing being there. So isolated thing. And the whole time I'm kind of stumbling and really woozy, very clear concussion, unmistakably so. So I get back into my truck, and my buddy, he looks at me, he goes, I'll never forget it. He looks right at me, he goes, "I thought you guys were gone." I said, "So did I." So I remember getting back to base after what seemed like forever, because I was in an MRAP, which is a much more protected vehicle than like a standard Humvee. And so I get in the back of this Humvee. The whole ride home, I'm thinking, God, I'm gonna fucking die in this truck, because my friend my friend Vincent Winston, not afraid to say his name. I speak his name all the time to keep him alive, but the unfortunate part is he is not alive. And he was in the back of a Humvee when it hit an IED. A lot of people in the truck were very seriously wounded, and Winston didn't make it out. So, you know, I felt fortunate to be in an MRAP, but now riding home in this tiny little Humvee, I was shitting my pants a little bit. I'm gonna die in this truck on the way home, you know. And I remember thinking, man, I'm in the back of the truck, and I just laid my head down, and I went to sleep. I said, I'm gonna go to sleep. I said I was fully grasping the fact that I had a concussion. I could actually, you know, I knew that, and so I knew I wasn't supposed to sleep, but I slept anyway. And I remember thinking, like, if I'm gonna die today, I'm gonna be asleep, you know, when I do it. I just succumbed to the overwhelming desire to sleep, and I ended up getting back to base. I believe it was Fob Ramrod in Kandahar is where they took me, and I remember taking this fucking picture. I took this picture. It was a selfie, actually, on a digital camera, you know, because that was before really cool smartphones. It was 2008. And I have it titled on my picture, the first time I escaped death. And I have it titled on my computer, the first time I escaped death. Because I was convinced at that point, being that I only been in country for 3 months, that it wasn't going to be the last time. And it wasn't.